What if I told you that one of history's wealthiest and wisest men left behind financial secrets that still work today? Solomon, known for his unmatched wisdom, built an empire of prosperity using principles that are just as relevant now as they were thousands of years ago. The good news? You don't need to be a king to apply them, you just need the right mindset and strategy. In today's world, financial struggles are everywhere. Impulsive debt, risky investments, and emotional spending trap people in a cycle of stress. But Solomon's wisdom offers a way out. His teachings on discipline, patience, and smart decision-making can help you avoid financial disasters and build lasting wealth. By understanding his approach, you'll learn how to protect your money, invest wisely, and make decisions with confidence. So, are you ready to think like a financial genius? In this guide, we'll break down Solomon's timeless strategies and show you how to apply them to modern-day finances. Whether you want to stay out of debt, make smarter investments, or simply gain more control over your money, these ancient principles will help you build a secure and prosperous future. Solomon's wisdom has stood the test of time, and his lessons are just as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. He understood that smart financial decisions aren't just about knowledge, they come from seeing beyond the immediate. Just as he asked for wisdom instead of riches, prioritizing financial intelligence over quick gains can transform your economic future. Money can be a great servant, but a terrible master, something Solomon knew better than anyone. When we talk about financial wisdom, we're looking beyond numbers and calculations. It's a mindset. Solomon teaches us that patience and careful analysis are essential to avoiding impulsive decisions that can damage our stability. Whether choosing an investment, starting a business, or managing everyday expenses, his approach always involved careful thought and long-term vision. He never made decisions based on fleeting desires, but on a strategic plan for the future. Applying this mindset today means learning to balance financial choices with rationality and discipline. In a world bombarded with promises of easy money and quick profits, Solomon's philosophy reminds us that true prosperity comes from consistency and smart planning. A practical example? Before making an impulsive purchase or falling for a get-rich-quick scheme, ask yourself, does this really make sense in the long run? Solomon would say that the right answer always comes from wise analysis, not emotions. Solomon's teachings go beyond philosophy. They offer a practical guide to handling money wisely. His timeless principles of patience, discipline, and foresight align perfectly with modern financial success. While technology and markets have changed, the core challenges remain the same: managing wealth responsibly, avoiding reckless spending, and making thoughtful investment decisions. Solomon's wisdom serves as a blueprint for navigating these challenges with clarity and confidence. One of Solomon's key insights was the importance of avoiding financial arrogance. Many people today fall into the trap of thinking they can outsmart the market or take shortcuts to wealth. However, just as Solomon warned against overconfidence, successful financial management requires humility and a willingness to learn. Seeking knowledge, consulting experts, and making informed choices are all habits that reflect his principles and lead to long-term stability. Another crucial lesson from Solomon is the value of steady, disciplined financial growth. Instead of chasing quick wealth, he emphasized the power of gradual accumulation. This aligns with the modern principles of saving, investing wisely, and allowing compound interest to work in your favor. Whether you're managing a paycheck or a portfolio, the key is to make decisions that prioritize sustainability over short-term rewards. Solomon's wisdom reminds us that true financial security comes from careful planning, not fleeting luck. Debt can be a powerful tool or a dangerous trap. It all depends on how you manage it. Solomon warned against reckless borrowing, emphasizing that financial freedom is built on discipline and self-control. In today's world, credit cards, loans, and buy-no-pay-later schemes make it easy to overspend. But just because you can afford something today doesn't mean it's a wise choice for your future. True financial wisdom comes from resisting instant gratification and making thoughtful decisions. One of Solomon's greatest strengths was his ability to think long-term rather than giving in to short-term temptations. Emotional spending is one of the biggest threats to financial stability, and in moments of stress, boredom, or excitement, people often make purchases they later regret. Solomon's approach teaches us to pause, reflect, and ask, is this purchase necessary? Will it bring lasting value? Developing this habit can prevent costly mistakes and keep finances under control. A practical way to apply Solomon's wisdom is to set clear financial boundaries. This could mean sticking to a budget, waiting 24 hours before making non-essential purchases, or avoiding debt unless it serves a meaningful purpose, like investing in education or a home. By prioritizing thoughtful spending and resisting emotional impulses, you take control of your financial future. As Solomon might say, a wise person considers the outcome before taking the first step. Fear and greed are two of the biggest obstacles to smart investing. Solomon, known for his wisdom, approached decision-making with a clear, rational mindset, never rushing into opportunities without careful thought. In today's fast-paced financial world, his approach is more relevant than ever. Whether it's the stock market, real estate, or a business venture, successful investing requires patience, analysis, and a willingness to resist emotional reactions. One of Solomon's strengths was his ability to separate facts from emotions. Many investors panic during market downturns or get overly excited when prices soar, leading to poor decisions. Solomon's wisdom teaches us to stay calm and objective, focusing on long-term value rather than short-term trends. A smart investor asks, is this a solid opportunity, or am I just reacting to hype? Taking the time to research and think critically can prevent costly mistakes. To invest wisely like Solomon, start by building a strategy based on knowledge and discipline. Instead of following the latest investment fads, focus on assets with real, sustainable growth potential. Diversify your portfolio. Avoid making decisions based on fear or excitement. And remember that true wealth isn't built overnight. As Solomon might put it, steady hands build lasting prosperity. Solomon understood that putting all your resources in one place was a dangerous move. His wisdom aligns perfectly with the modern principle of diversification, spreading investments across different areas to minimize risk. Whether in ancient trade routes or today's stock market, the lesson remains the same: a wise person doesn't gamble their entire future on a single opportunity. Financial security comes from balancing risk and reward. Many investors make the mistake of chasing the next big thing, hoping for massive returns on a single investment. But Solomon's approach reminds us to think broader. Imagine a farmer planting only one type of crop. If a drought hits, he loses everything. The same applies to finances. Diversifying across stocks, real estate, bonds, and other assets ensures that no single loss can wipe out your wealth. Wise investors don't rely on luck, they build resilience. Applying this strategy today means evaluating your investments with a long-term perspective. Instead of putting all your savings into one stock or one business, consider spreading them across different industries and financial instruments. Solomon's wisdom teaches that sustainable wealth comes from careful planning, not risky bets. As he might say, a wise person prepares for both sunshine and storms. Solomon was known for his ability to see through deception, making him one of history's greatest decision-makers. His wisdom teaches us to be cautious with financial opportunities that seem too good to be true. In today's world, scams, high-risk investments, and get-rich-quick schemes are everywhere. Without discernment, it's easy to fall for promises of easy money, only to end up with losses instead of profits. True financial success requires patience, research, and a skeptical mindset. One of the biggest financial traps today is the illusion of instant wealth. Whether it's a guaranteed investment with unrealistic returns or a flashy business opportunity with no real foundation, Solomon's wisdom tells us to investigate before committing. If something promises wealth without effort, it's likely a trap. Instead of chasing shortcuts, wise investors focus on strategies that build lasting prosperity through steady, well-planned decisions. A practical way to follow Solomon's example is to always verify before trusting. Before investing, ask, does this opportunity have a solid foundation? Is it based on real value? Seeking advice from experienced financial experts, researching thoroughly, and avoiding emotional decisions can save you from costly mistakes. As Solomon might put it, a fool rushes in, but the wise take time to understand. One of Solomon's greatest strengths was his ability to think long-term rather than seeking instant gratification. In finance, patience is a superpower. Those who rush into investments without careful thought often face losses. Solomon's wisdom teaches us that wealth built over time is far more secure than riches gained overnight. Just like a tree that takes years to bear fruit, financial success comes from steady, disciplined growth. Many people today struggle with financial discipline, constantly jumping from one trend to another, hoping for quick profits. But Solomon reminds us that true prosperity isn't about chasing the latest opportunity, it's about sticking to a plan. Whether it's saving consistently, reinvesting earnings, or waiting for the right investment opportunity, patience is key. Those who stay the course, despite market fluctuations or tempting shortcuts, are the ones who build lasting wealth. A simple way to apply Solomon's wisdom is to develop habits that promote financial discipline. This could mean automating savings, resisting impulsive spending, or committing to a long-term investment strategy. The key is to stay focused on the bigger picture rather than being distracted by short-term gains. As Solomon might say, the patient hand builds, while the restless one scatters. Markets rise and fall, opportunities come and go, but financial wisdom remains constant. Solomon understood that emotions like fear and greed could cloud judgment, leading to reckless decisions. In times of financial crisis, many people panic and sell investments at a loss, or make impulsive moves out of desperation. But Solomon's wisdom teaches us to remain steady, basing financial decisions on logic rather than emotions. One of the greatest mistakes in finance is reacting emotionally to short-term events. When markets crash, fear takes over when they rise. Greed drives people to chase hype. Solomon's approach? Maintain a level head. Instead of making rash decisions, take a step back, assess the situation, and act with strategy. Successful investors understand that downturns are temporary and wise. Planning can turn challenges into opportunities. Applying Solomon's wisdom means developing emotional control over your finances. Instead of reacting impulsively, create a financial plan that accounts for uncertainty. Diversify your investments, build an emergency fund, and remind yourself that stability comes from preparation, not luck. As Solomon might say, the wise do not fear the storm, they prepare for it. You now have the key principles that made Solomon one of the wisest financial minds in history. But wisdom is only valuable when put into action. Will you continue making emotional financial decisions, or will you start applying the patience, discipline, and strategy that build real wealth? The choice is yours. Think about your current financial habits. Are you avoiding impulsive debt? Are you investing wisely and diversifying your assets? If not, now is the time to take control. Financial security isn't about luck, it's about making smart, consistent decisions. Start small, be intentional, and remember that wealth built on wisdom lasts longer than riches gained overnight. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more financial insights inspired by ancient wisdom. Let's keep learning and growing together. Your future self will thank you.